Prabhuji. So Shubh Vilas Prabhuji is a lifestyle coach, a storyteller and an author. In terms of qualification, he has completed his engineering degree, post which he decided to take up patent law, which is one of the most intricate and complicated laws of this country. And then he finally decided to choose his path of being a spiritual seeker. Thank you so much once again. And recently he has just completed his PhD in leadership from Valmiki Ramayana, and his thesis is considered to be path-breaking in nature. So it's not just Shubh Vilas Prabhuji, it is Dr. Shubh Vilas Prabhuji now. And he is also a writer, and he has written more than 30 actually, thought-provoking books. And the focus of his books is primarily the application of spiritual wisdom in today's times as well. Not only by corporates, but also by youths and people from different fields and fields. And currently his book series Ramayana, The Game of Life, is the best-selling series in this country, and he is also the author of other books like Open Eye Meditations, Mystical Tales for a Magical Life, Perfect Love, many more. Apart from being a writer, he's also a very active speaker, and he has been invited by many organizations, corporations, and universities, not only in India, but from across the world. And he's working tirelessly every day to ensure that the spiritual wisdom, knowledge and its relevance reaches out to as many people as possible throughout this world. So without much further ado, let's welcome Shubh Vilas Prabhuji with a huge round of applause, everyone. Thank you so much. Over to you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Yash. We'll just offer some prayers, then we'll begin, okay? Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutaha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Dinabandhu Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajikakanta Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Radhe Shri Radha Krishna Padan Pranamagana Lahari Priya Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Rama Ramo Hare Hare Jai Shri Krishna
Hare Krishna. Very happy and grateful to be amidst all of you all here today. Thank you for coming, and hopefully what you're going to hear in the next 1 hour or so is going to really help you in many aspects of your life. So, before I begin speaking, I'll tell you an experience I had a couple of months back. I know one young boy who I know him for like last many years. I happened to go to his house a couple of months back. So this guy was, chilling at home. He finished his exams and he had a few weeks of break. And the day I reached his house, that was the first day of his break. And his father got him the latest PS.
I know him for like
And
many years.
he also got the latest
I
game.
happened to go to his house a couple of months
I
back.
don't know the name of the game. Something like.
So this guy was,
chilling at home. He finished his I don't know, but anyway, exams. It was some killing game basically, Few weeks of break. So this guy, he was excited to show me the game. That was the first day of his break. Show me. It was some Greek, father, mythology game basically. PS. Huh? And God of what? He also got the God of God of War. Yeah. The latest one he had it. Something like. So I was intrigued to find out what this is and what's the obsession about. This guy, he was excited. And he showed me the whole game for some time. I was like sitting with him for like half an hour. He was absorbed in it. So I reached at about 12 o'clock to his house. God of War, and then he showed me the game for like 15-20 minutes. I was with him, then I went to my room. I did some work, came down for lunch at 2 o'clock. He was still playing there. And then I had my lunch, we ate together. Then he went back to play, I went back to do my work. I came down at 6 o'clock, he was still playing there. Then I went for a program, I came back at 9:30, 10, he was still playing there. Then I went to sleep. I came back down at 5 o'clock in the morning, he was still playing there. I said, wow, what capacity to play, Literally, for almost like 15-16 hours, he was like on it constantly. And the interesting part was, he had his sofa, legs stretched over the sofa, blanket drawn on him, and a full AC blown. And he was down big television in front of him. And he was playing. I said, wow, what capacity. And when I came 4-5 hours later, same pose. Literally. For almost like 15-16 technically, hours, in the Vedic scriptures, this is called samadhi. And when somebody is exactly in the same pose and absolutely not moving for a second, I was amazed what capacity this guy has. I asked him a simple question. I asked him, why do you play this game? 4-5 hours later, same pose. He started thinking for a moment. Technically, in the Vedic scriptures, this is called samadhi. He said, nobody ever asked me this question. Everyone asked me how to play the game. I was the first person who asked him why you're playing the game. He got confused for a moment, Then he actually started thinking for some time, why I'm playing this game. I asked him a simple question. The interesting part about life is that many times, why do you play this game? We ask the wrong question for the wrong thing. When it comes to spirituality, people generally ask, why to practice spirituality? Right? And when it comes to playing a video game, people generally ask, how to play the video game? I simply tell them reverse the questions. When it comes to spirituality, you should ask how to practice spirituality. How to chant, how to practice. And when it comes to video games, just ask why to play. You actually get amazing difference of thought process when you do that. People generally ask. So today, I'm going to share with you all some really simple and some things that will be thought-provoking for you. Simply tell them reverse the questions. And what I'm going to share with you all will help you in many aspects of your life. I'm going to give you all some very simple tips and thoughts that will help you think a little deeper in your life. So I wrote this book called Plug Into Happiness. This is a book that I highly recommend all of you all to read. This book and there's another book called Open Eye Meditations. Must for every youngster to have. What I'm going to share with you. So in this book, I talk about how you can be happy in life. Everyone's looking for happiness, but somehow we feel miserable. In my so many years of interacting with youngsters, I'm yet to find a happy youngster. Plug Into Happiness. Children are very happy. This is a book that I highly recommend. Most youth are frustrated. This book and they have some reason to be miserable. Either exams, teachers, girlfriend, boyfriend, some reason to be frustrated. You don't have the latest gadget my friend has. Somehow there are 100 reasons to be sad and frustrated, right? In my so many years, so I'm going to share with you all some very simple tips how you can be happy in life. And these are very simple things when I share with them to you. But if you practice them and if you live based on these things, it will really help you in your life. All ready for it? Okay. And at the end of the I'm going to speak for maybe about half an hour, 40 minutes, something like that. And then after that, we'll have ample time for discussions. So I want all of you to feel free to ask questions. And no matter how silly the questions are, how stupid the questions are, in these four walls, you won't be judged. Okay? You can feel free to ask any question you want. And you can feel free to ask any question that you have always wanted to ask. Especially from the point of view of spirituality, from the point of view of your own lives, what your struggles are, etc. Okay? And then after that, we'll have ample time for discussions. So I want all of you to feel free to ask questions. There is something called, no matter how silly the questions are, the quotients of life. In these four walls, if you want to be happy in your life, you need to live a life of balance. There are 4 or 5 quotients that you need to learn to balance. And I'm going to share a very simple tip on how you can enhance that particular quotient of your life. Okay? Let me begin with something known as physical quotient. I'm sure all of you all do some type of exercise, isn't it? Anyone here? Okay. How many of you all do a little bit of exercise? Walking, some kind of gymming, running, sports, any kind of exercise. Something you all do, right? That's wonderful. Very good. Those who are not doing, please do something. So physical quotient essentially is a couple of things. Something known as physical quotient. I'm sure people will tell you that you should exercise, you should gym, you should do all that. And I'm sure all of you are doing that. I'm sure that all of you are eating properly. How many of you all do? Youth is a time when you feel really hungry. I remember when I was in your age, I used to feel hungry all the time, literally. And my mother would go crazy, feeding me. She would ask what's going on, you have like some kind of a demon inside your stomach. I'm sure. So that's good. So that gets taken care of, Your eating gets taken care, your gymming, exercise, that gets taken care. But there's one more thing that I want to talk to you all about, which probably nobody talks to you all about. And probably y'all don't focus on. Okay? My mother would go crazy. And this is sleep. My question to all of you all is, okay, let me first explain the concept of sleep that I'm going to talk to you all about. And then I'll ask you all some questions, okay? Very recently I read a book on sleep. One more thing, and this book literally woke me up. It literally shook me up, And probably over the last 15-20 years, I would say from 2003 onwards, all the way till 2017, which is almost like 13-14 years, isn't it? I recently not even 17, I would say 2017-18. Almost 14 to 15 years, I literally slept 4 to 5 hours a day. That's all. I've been sleeping for years and years like that. 15-20 years. But in the last few years, I realized I made a big mistake in my life by sleeping less. And I'm going to share with you all some really important things that you need to know at this age in your life. If I had known this at that age in my life, I would have lived my life differently. But now that I'm giving the opportunity for you all to learn this, please do understand this carefully. So for you to have good sleep, there are 2 factors that are very crucial and important. And I'm going to share with you all some. The first factor is called sleep pressure. If I had known this, it's called sleep pressure. As soon as you wake up in the morning, there is a chemical that gets released in your mind. And this chemical, it's like a small dropper. At every moment, this chemical increases and increases and increases and increases. And say 10 hours down the line, 10, 12 hours after you wake up, you feel an irresistible desire to sleep. Right? That's called sleep pressure. Every human being has to experience sleep pressure. And if you experience it at the right time every day, you will go to sleep immediately. Okay? So this is a very important factor for going to sleep. And the second very important factor that is needed to go to sleep is something known as sleep rhythm. It's called the sleep cycle. It's also called the circadian rhythm. It's a 24 hours body clock. So that means this particular rhythm, at the exact time every year, every day, it inspires you to sleep, basically. Okay? And all of us experience it at some point or the time or the other. And the same rhythm helps you wake up also in the morning. There are some people that wake up without an alarm at a particular time, right? I'm sure all of you have experienced it. So this is known as circadian rhythm. These two are the most important factors for you to go to sleep. Unfortunately, a lot of people play with this rhythm. And a lot of people play with that sleep pressure. You know how people play with the sleep pressure? There is a very important drug that all of us consume on a regular basis. It's called coffee. You drink 1 cup of coffee. It unfortunately pauses your that chemical that gets released for increasing the sleep pressure. It mutes it. It's like you're hearing a song and suddenly the song gets muted, right? And it mutes that chemical from being released for 5 to 6 hours. So that means, if you have coffee at 5 o'clock in the evening, then for 6 hours, that chemical being secreted is muted. That chemical that gets released. Till 12 o'clock in the night, no sign of sleep. It's like you're hearing a song and suddenly the song gets muted. And then a second thing that mutes your sleep pressure and the whole cycle of sleep is blue light. So that comes from your phone. And especially when the blue light comes in a dark atmosphere, it mutes. That chemical being secreted. I'm not even going to ask how many of you all use the phone after you switch off the light. I know the answer. So when you use the phone after the light is switched off in a dark atmosphere, you're actually bombarding your senses with daylight, literally. So for your mind, it's almost as if it isn't day. So the mind gets super confused whether I'm awake, whether I'm supposed to sleep, whether it is day, whether it is night. The combination of coffee and combination of blue light is deadly. The result is what we now know as insomnia. I'm not even going to ask how many of you all don't get sleep properly at night. I am assuming that half of you all are following that cycle, basically. So many people today, I'm seeing so many youngsters today sleep at 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. Common, isn't it? Very common to sleep at 1, 2. Ayurveda gives a very interesting interesting understanding of how sleep works. According to Ayurveda, 9 to 12 p.m. these 3 hours of sleep is equivalent to 6 hours of rest. So 9 to 12 if you sleep in this 3 hours, your body is getting 6 hours of rest. And if you sleep between 12 to 3, those 3 hours, your body is getting 3 hours of rest. 1 hour equal to 1 hour. And 3 to 6 if you sleep, your body is getting half hour's rest for every hour. That means 3 to 6, you're actually getting 1.5 hours of sleep. And 6 onwards doesn't count only as sleep. So now you calculate for yourself how many hours your body is actually getting rest. Ideally, for a human being, we need 7 to 8 hours of good quality sleep every day. Why you need that good quality sleep? So that your brains are most active. An active brains, an active mind is important for being creative, for being innovative, for being quick in your thinking, for being alert in your actions, for every single thing that you can think of. It is directly connected to your sleep. And unfortunately, this is something nobody talks about. And now let me tell you something called as micro sleep. I'm going to explain to you a phenomena. And I'm sure many of you all would have experienced it in your life. This is a phenomena called micro sleep. You know what's micro sleep? Micro sleep is a phenomena by which for a split second, for a 1 or 2 seconds, your body shuts down involuntarily. You may be driving a car. For 1 second, you go to sleep. I want to explain to you a phenomenon. You don't even realize it. Just go to sleep for 1 second. You will be attending a lecture. This is a phenomenon. And in the middle of the lecture, 1 second, all systems shut. Micro sleep is a phenomenon. You may be talking to someone in the middle of a conversation. You can experience a micro sleep. Your body shuts down. You may be eating food voluntarily. While eating food in the middle of your food, you can go to sleep for 1 second. This is called micro sleep. I'll tell you the power of micro sleep. You will be attending a lecture. There are more road accidents and more deaths that are caused due to micro sleep than due to drunk driving. You can experience a micro sleep. You may be eating food. You see all boards all around Bombay. Don't drink and drive and all that. Have you ever seen a board around Bombay that says sleep enough and drive? More accidents are caused due to micro sleep than due to drunk driving. Road accidents. Now, one is the damage that micro sleep causes, but the loss that it causes in terms of innovation and creativity is unlimited. When you want an idea the most, you don't get the idea. Why? One of it is because of lack of sleep. So imagine the loss that lack of sleep is causing from an economic point of view. Then due to drunk driving. From your career point of view. From your ability to recall point of view. It's phenomenal amount. Loss that it causes in terms of innovation. So approximately, when there was a survey done in America for employees, what is the loss that this factor of lack of proper sleep is causing to organizations? They found the loss to be something in the tune of about $50 million. From your career point of view. Lack of sleep causing. Now tell me, it's phenomenal. How many of you all here have experienced micro sleep in your life? Just put up your hand. There was a survey done in America. Good for employees. What is the loss that it's a I'll tell you, I was driving once. I was driving a car once. And right in the middle of a highway, my entire body shut down for a second. I don't know what I did. I pressed the brake right in the middle of a highway. How many of you all here? And luckily, I got saved. I didn't get into a major accident, but somebody did bang into us. But the point is that micro sleep is such a deadly thing. You don't even realize what you're doing. And so, my suggestion to all of you all is that please don't neglect your sleep. Please don't neglect your sleep. Your parents might be sounding stupid to tell you to sleep early. All the adults might sound stupid to tell you to sleep early, but you think about it for yourself. Do you want to reach a situation where your body automatically shuts down when you don't want it to shut down and lose so much in the process? And not just that. Look at the amount it affects you creatively. Look at the amount it affects your ability to be imaginative, innovative, etc. So, for physical quotient, my suggestion to all of you all is that spend enough time sleeping. I'm not defining what time you should sleep and what time you should not. That's not my point. But please understand how important sleep is for your body. The more we sleep, actually our brain gets rejuvenated, energized, and it secretes the right chemicals for us to think properly, to process things properly, and to remain happy in life. Okay? And by the way, sleep affects the quality of your relationships also. Those who don't have good sleep don't have good relationships in life. So if you think why you're getting irritated so much, maybe it is not connected with the person, but it is connected with your sleep. Right? The ability to handle emotions is much better if you have good quality sleep. And by the way, so this is my humble request to you all as far as physical quotient is concerned. I'm not talking about diet, I'm not talking about exercise, that you all are good at. But I'm talking about something that you may not think it is important for you at this point in your life. But please remember, and try to find a way in which you can actually sleep better. If you want more on this subject, you should read a book called Why We Sleep. It has phenomenal scientific research on sleep. Okay? Next, let me talk to you about emotional quotient. Emotions are everything, isn't it? Everything we do in life is connected with the way our emotions are, the way our emotions work. And emotions are foundational to our lives. So I'm going to give you all some very simple thoughts on how you can build your emotional quotient. Next, let me talk to you about what I'm going to share with you will help you in your relationships. Emotions will help you develop relationship not only with others, but a relationship with yourself. Those who are emotionally stable people, and they are the ones who can actually contribute the best. In fact, most leaderships, most organizations in the world today, when they hire people, they don't just look at your IQ. Before, in the previous 10 years before maybe, when they would hire people, they would look at IQ of a person, aptitude. But today, they don't look at only IQ. They look at EQ also. And I tell you my experience of dealing with youngsters and their EQ levels. When I was in Bangalore, I used to preach to a lot of youngsters from Indian Institute of Science, IISC. IISC is like literally above IITs in many aspects. And I noticed something amazing about these youngsters. Super intelligent guys. Gate rank below 20. Imagine gate rank below 20. It's not a joke, isn't it? In Bangalore. But so many of them, when they would get jobs in regular organizations and companies, they would not be able to work with each other. They would not be able to work in a team. Alone, they were superb. Give them any task, they'll do it quickly. But you put them in a team, gone. Big mess. I always wondered, what is this going on? Why are these guys behaving like this? Such intelligent guys, so much smartness, so much intelligence. But why they're not able to get along with each other? They would not be able to work in a team. And I came across so many people like that, who were like behaving strange, with each other. But you put them in a team. And all intelligent people. Big mess. So, I started doing some research. And I came across a survey, phenomenal survey. This is what I'm going to share with you is a result of 25 years of study of human beings. And this is not study of just normal human beings. This is study of about 300 to 400 of the most highly developed IQs. Humans that have the most highly developed IQs. Normal average IQ of a human being is about 70 to 90. That's like average. That's normal, If any of you take an IQ test, so most of you will fall in that category, 70 to 90 basically. If you're 90, it's like you're really good. But these 300, 400 people they caught, you know what level of IQ they had? Between 150 to 200. Now imagine someone having an IQ level of 150 to 200. Normal average IQ of a It's beyond genius. 70 to 90. You understand? It's beyond genius. Normal, They studied 300 to 400 of such people. Most of you will fall in that category. Who IQ levels beyond 150. It's like you're really good. And you know what they found out? These 300, 400 people. They studied means what? Not just studied for 1 day, 2 days. They studied them for 25 years. And they followed them for 25 years. This is like the biggest survey ever done. It's beyond genius. And for 25 years, they followed these 300, 400 people out. Day in, day out, they were following. And the end of this survey was fascinating, which is what I'm going to share with you all. And you know what they found? They found out of these 300, 400 people that they surveyed, that they studied, for 25 years. Literally more than half of them and they never made it in life. This is like the biggest survey ever done. Major failures. Nothing big they achieved in life. Imagine having IQ level 200 and struggling for daily money, not having enough money with you. You think it's logical? It doesn't make sense, isn't it? I mean, somebody is a genius like this. Imagine Einstein begging on the streets,
Literally more than half of them, and they never made it.
That's exactly what's happening with these people. And they found out why these guys are not able to achieve great
Imagine
things.
having IQ level 200
And they realized there is a very important
and
factor
struggling for daily money.
because
Not
of
having
which
enough money with you.
these people who are not able to make it in life,
It doesn't make sense, isn't it?
they didn't make it in life.
Somebody is a genius like this.
You know what the factor is?
Imagine Einstein begging on the
The
streets.
simple factor was these people who didn't make it in life,
That's exactly what's happening with these people.
they didn't get love at home.
And they found out why these guys are not able to achieve great.
These people who didn't make it in life,
Realize there is a
they
very
didn't get love at home during their formative years.
these people who are not able
And that
to make it in
affected
life.
the way they lived their life. I'll give you some examples just to help you understand. There was one guy,
Imagine Einstein begging
genius,
simple factor
IQ level 200.
who didn't make it in life.
And after 25 years after studying this guy, they found out this guy is just working in a normal job, getting a very, very basic salary
people
and
who didn't make it in
hardly
life,
having anything,
They didn't
any
get
kind of
love at
success in
home
life.
during their formative years.
And they started backtracking his whole life to figure out what
affected
exactly went
the
wrong.
way they lived their life.
This guy was brought up in the ghettos.
There was one guy.
A very bad shape. His father had left his mother. His mother was raising him up. When he went to school at some point, his mother couldn't pay the school fee on time at a particular point. She couldn't pay the school fee. And because she couldn't pay the school fee on time, the school told him not to come. He stopped going.
What exactly went wrong?
There are so many people in India who don't pay school fee, they keep going, isn't it?
One guy. Very bad.
What do? You won't please say please, please, please 10 times and they will say okay, fine.
Mother was raising him
This
up.
guy
When he went to
didn't
school
go
at
back
some
to school.
point, his mother
Then after that, somehow or the other, he studied in some evening school. Somehow he passed and he came to college. While he was in college,
pay the school fee on
he was in such a bad situation financially at home that he had to take up a job to support himself.
India who don't pay school fee.
And his job, his boss told him that you can't work in. So he had a college and he had a job, right? So the job told him that you can't work in the evening hours. You have to come in the daytime only.
That somehow or the other he
So he had to go to his college and ask the college people that please give me an evening batch. And I can't come in the morning.
bad situation financially.
He somehow just couldn't go and ask.
Take up a job to support.
And because of which he could not complete his
And
college.
his job, his boss.
He was a college dropout.
That you can't.
And then eventually he got a job and all that, whatever
So he had a
happened in his
college
life.
and he had a job, right?
Now I'm just parking this story. I'm going to the next story, okay?
You have to come.
I'm going to talk about another boy whose IQ level is again 150 plus, basically. But brought up in a family that was very good, loving, caring family.
Just couldn't go and ask.
So the mother and the son, they're traveling in a car. They're going to a meeting with the principal of the school. And the surveyor, the person who is actually doing the survey, he is sitting in the same car with them. So these surveyors, like 25 years, they followed them so badly. They're traveling in the car, they're living in their houses and all. That kind of survey.
Brought up in a family that was
The mother is talking to this child
loving, caring.
and she's asking him, what are you going to tell the principal?
The son, they're traveling in a car.
The child says, I'm going to say this. The mother says, no, don't say this. You should say this instead. And the child is asking why I should say this. And they're having a conversation about how to talk to an authority.
They followed them so badly.
And eventually they go to the principal and the child very confidently speaks to the principal, gives all the answers and gets what he wants.
To this child. And she's
Now you compare the two.
what are you going to
What's the difference between the two? In the first case, intelligence was there. Second case also intelligence was there.
say? No.
Second case, there was a supportive parent. And in the first case, there was no one who could help him, coach him, help him deal with others. So the boy who was super intelligent, he didn't have an authority figure in his life.
Now you
He
compare.
didn't have a father that he could actually connect with and make her, understand how to deal with authorities.
Intelligence was there.
So whenever in his life he came to a point to deal with some authority, he ran away.
There was
He couldn't handle it.
supportive
So now, you tell me,
first case,
to achieve success in your life, is only IQ important?
him
Only IQ enough?
help him deal with.
In fact, just having
boy who was
IQ and not developing an EQ is going to be detrimental for your growth. He didn't have a father that he could actually my suggestion to all of you all is that while you invest in your education degrees, while you invest in your college and schools and studies and all that, you also should invest some time in developing social skills, in developing skills that will help you all your life. The biggest deals, the biggest opportunities are not going to come to you on your exam papers. The biggest opportunities of your life are going to come to you by talking to people. And your ability to talk to people comes only when you are in an environment that is filled with love and affection. So, please give your parents and your family credit for who you are today. Because a lot of who you are today is because of the love and affection that you got at home. Imagine if you were raised in an atmosphere like this guy was raised. What confidence you would have had? Now, in being youngsters, now you might think your parents are stupid and parents don't understand you and all that. But remember, whether they are stupid and don't understand you, but the love they have given you is what is going to make you tomorrow. Okay? So EQ is a super important part of your life.
Imagine if you were raised
So
in an
don't
atmosphere
underestimate
like this guy
the small relationships and the small discussions you have with your parents at home. They're actually shaping you. Right? So EQ means emotional quotient. So invest time in developing your emotional quotient. The next thing I would like to share with you all is about IQ. So I kind of spoke a little bit that you should, be careful about IQ. But now I'm going to talk to you about the good side and the important side of IQ, which is also equally important. Now I knew a young boy who finished his degree. Right? The day he finished his degree, he took a vow. He took a vow that I'll never touch a book in my life.
The next thing I would like to share with you all is about
And he kept the vow all his life.
spoke a little bit that you should,
Imagine, and I'm not sure how many of you all have taken such vows in your life. If you have, so education, formal education gets completed at some point, but life education should never get completed. Every single day, you must learn to grow.
He took a vow that I
Your school and college will teach you how to make a living.
all his life.
All the education that you gain from school and college will teach you how to make a living.
I'm not sure how many of you all have taken such
But
vows in
after
your life.
that, what you study will teach you how to make a
So
life.
education, formal education.
I'm
gets
dealing on a
completed at
daily
some point.
basis with young boys and girls. So many young couples. I'm dealing on a daily basis who have made phenomenal in terms of making a living. But they have not made a
Your
life.
school and college will teach you
Miserable they are staying with each other.
all the education.
Fighting like cats and dogs, literally.
How to make a living.
And
After that, what you
pathetic.
study will teach you how to
Pathetic
make a
level of fighting.
formal education.
I'm dealing on a daily I often talk about this one couple that came to me many years back, husband and wife. They were 6 months married
phenomenal in terms
and they were on the verge of a
making living.
divorce. But they have not made a I was amazed. In 6 months, how did they conclude that you can't stay with each other for life?
Miserable they are staying with each other.
They said problem began first day only.
Fighting like cats and dogs, literally.
First day they got married. The husband went to brush his teeth. And he pressed the toothpaste from top.
Talk about this one.
The wife is telling him, why you're pressing from top? Press the toothpaste from below. This is like, no, this is my style. I press from top only. That's where their first fight began.
I was amazed.
Now imagine, what do you call this? Strange, isn't it? They know how to make a living. They are all earning, literally lakhs a month. But they don't know how to live a life. IQ is not just about developing your intelligence in just one aspect of life.
No, this is my style.
It's
I press
about
from
so
top
many
only.
aspects of life. Chanakya Pandit
That's where the
says
first fight began.
that every human being should every day
What do you call this?
learn one verse.
Strange, isn't it?
If you can't
They
learn
know
one
how to make a
verse,
living.
at least learn
all
half a
learning.
verse. If you can't learn half a verse, at least learn one sentence. If you can't learn one sentence, at least learn one new word a day. What is he talking about? He's not talking about only learning Sanskrit verses. He's talking about learning something in your life on a daily basis.
So many aspects of life. Chanakya Pandit says
There should be some kind of upgradation on a daily basis in your life.
every day learn one
If you grow on a daily basis,
learn one verse.
you will evolve on a daily basis. And
you can't learn one half a word, at
evolution
least learn one
is so
sentence.
important for life.
You can't learn one sentence.
I'm sure all of you all have licenses now.
What is he
When you go to get a license,
He's talking about
when you get a learner's license, you put that L board, right? On a bike or a car.
there should be some kind
And I know so many people who just waiting for the 15 days period to remove that L board and throw it, you know. Hate driving with the L board, right? But
is so important.
when it comes to driving,
I'm sure all of
you can remove the L board at some point, you know, when you're confident.
when you go to
And when it comes to life, you should always have a L board all life long.
get a learner's license
All life, you should be a learner.
on a bike or a
To the extent you're a learner all life long, to that extent you'll grow.
people who just
And you can contribute also to the best possible way. So every one of us need a little bit of help in becoming a better version of ourselves. Right?
when it comes to
I don't know if you have heard of this term known as alteration tailors. You know, it's a species that existed some time back. Nowadays it doesn't exist. But I'll explain what an alteration tailor is. Most of y'all buy ready-made clothes, isn't it? So when you buy a ready-made cloth, a t-shirt or a pant or anything, it fits you,
becoming a better version of us.
but it doesn't fit you perfect. You know, like little bit of, little loose, a little too tight, a little here, a little there, little long, little short, you know, whatever.
It's a species that
An alteration tailor, you know what he does?
doesn't exist.
He doesn't do much.
What an alteration tailor is.
He just cuts a little bit here,
Buy ready-made
extends a little bit there. He does a little bit of alteration, and then that very same cloth fits you to perfection. And you feel good about wearing it when it fits you to perfection, right?
here, little there, little long.
All of us need an alteration tailor in our life.
An alteration tailor, you know what he does?
Technically, these alteration tailors are called coaches. They're called mentors. They're called gurus. They're called guides. We all need an alteration coach, alteration tailor,
And then
who can help you cut a little bit here, a little bit there.
fits you to perfection.
You're already good,
Good about
but there's a little bit of
when it
a little
fits you
ego
to
here, a little, you know, too much there, you know.
us need an
So some small help we need in nipping off some unwanted things here and there.
alteration tailors are called coaches.
And if you have someone in your life that you can go up to, walk up to, and take guidance from on a regular basis, your life will be so much better.
can help you cut a little bit.
Don't think you can figure out everything on your own. Every single person needs someone to connect with, someone to take guidance from, someone to approach, someone to consult, someone to really help you find those little changes that can make your life, which is good,
And if you have someone
better.
in your life that you
Okay?
can go up to, walk up
The next thing I would like to leave you all with is a little thought on finance.
don't
How many of you are already working? Put up your hand.
every single person needs someone to connect with.
Okay.
Someone
The others are all students, right?
someone to approach. Someone to
So whether you're working or students, this tip that I'm going to share with you all is a very important tip,
that can
and it will help you in your journey of life.
the next
Now this tip is based on a discussion between Lakshmi Devi and Rukmini.
on
In the Mahabharata, there's a beautiful discussion between Lakshmi and
how many of you
Rukmini.
are already working?
Lakshmi is the goddess of fortune, right? The finance minister of the world. You know.
The others are
So Lakshmi Devi and Rukmini having a discussion
so whether you're working or
on
students, this
Rukmini is asking Lakshmi
is a very
how to make money
and it will help you
and how
in
to keep
your,
money.
Journey of
So
life.
if anyone can give you advice on finance, who better than Lakshmi Devi to give advice? And Lakshmi Devi gives many interesting things that as advice. I'm going to share of the many things that she speaks. I'm going to share 3 things that you should remember as far as money is concerned. And these 3 things that I'm going to share with you all
how to make money.
are phenomenal tips. And I don't think you'll get them in any MBA courses. You'll not get them in any MBA books and books on finances.
And
These are straight 3 different thoughts given by Lakshmi Devi to Rukmini on how to earn money and how to keep money.
3 things.
The first thing she tells is,
And these
if anyone wants to make money,
are
they have to work hard.
phenomenal tips. And I don't think you'll get
In
them
today's
in
world
MBA
of shortcuts,
courses. You'll not get them in any
people
MBA
want to make
courses
quick
and
buck
books on finances.
quickly,
And these are
isn't it?
straight.
They don't want to work hard.
Three different.
So she says,
Lakshmi Devi.
if you really want to earn
Earn
Lakshmi,
money and how to keep money.
you need to put in
The first thing she
effort
tells is
and be dynamic.
anyone wants to make money.
Lakshmi
They have
says,
to work hard.
I do not stay with lazy people.
And I don't think you'll get in today's world of shortcuts.
So,
People
if
want
all
to
of you are looking at being
quickly.
rich and famous and
They don't
being
wanna work
successful in your life,
So she
please
says,
buck up.
if you really want to earn
Get rid of
Lakshmi,
laziness and procrastination.
you need to
They are your biggest enemies to success.
and
And I'll tell you,
be dynamic.
every one of you have great potential in your life.
I do not
But the
stay
problem
with
is
lazy people.
laziness and procrastination.
World of shortcuts.
Everyone knows how to
All
do
of you are
things.
looking at being
But somewhere there's a certain amount of lethargy and laziness that comes
successful
in
in your life.
that doesn't give you
Please buck up.
that energy to go and work hard.
Get rid of laziness and procrastination.
You have all the books in the
They are
world,
your biggest enemies to success.
but the effort to study you have to put, right?
And I'll tell you, every
You
one
have
of
all the
you
opportunities in the
great
world, you get the
potential
best
in
of
your life.
jobs, but after you get the job, you have to work hard, isn't it?
Laziness and procrastination.
You're doing a business, but
Everyone
the business
knows
can be done
how
in
to
a
do
very
things.
lazy way, it can be done in a very dynamic and
Somewhere
enthusiastic
there's
way.
a certain amount of lethargy
So
and
it depends on
laziness
you.
that comes in.
That's the first thing Lakshmi speaks.
Energy
The second thing Lakshmi speaks about,
Get rid of laziness.
she says,
You have all the books
I
in the world. Biggest enemies
remain with
study
those
you have to put, right? I'll tell you.
that work
You have all the opportunities.
according to their skill set. That means just don't compare yourself with somebody else and do what somebody else is doing. Find out what your core strength is and work according to that. So, of course, Krishna says this in the Gita also. It's better to do your, something that is according to your propensity imperfectly rather than doing somebody else's propensity perfectly, In today's world of Instagram, it is so easy to compare what somebody else is doing. It's like peeping into somebody else's window, Before, if you want to find out what somebody else is doing, you have to take so much trouble, isn't it? Go to their house, go to their office, and then ask 100 questions, then you will figure out what the fellow is doing. Now you have to just peep into your phone, you get to know what the other fellow is doing. The more you peep into other people's lives, the more frustrated your life will be. Stop peeping into other people's lives. Focus on your strength. Focus on your life. Get a hold of what your ability is. Simply if you do that, you can become very successful in your life. And the third thing the Lakshmi speaks about, she says, I remain stable in that person's life who has Narayan with him. Lakshmi is called Chanchala. She is very unstable. But the only time she becomes stable is when somebody worships Lakshmi and Narayan. What is Narayan? Narayan obviously is the Supreme Lord. But Narayan also represents principles in life. There are two ways to earn money. One is earn money without principles, and second is to earn money with principles. As you go ahead in your life, you will find both opportunities coming your way. You will be able to earn a lot of money by breaking some principles, making some compromises, bending some rules, or you can make a lot of money by not doing that, by following principles. You have to choose. I remember when I was a patent lawyer, whenever clients would come to our office, the first thing we would ask them is, what do you want as end result? Whatever the end result, we will twist all laws to suit, and you get the result. So there are so many ways. There are laws and there are bylaws. There are good ways to make money, and then there are, twisted ways of making money. And as you go ahead in your life, all of you will get opportunities for both. The ability to stand up and say, no, I will not do this, takes a lot of substance. It takes a lot of substance. Lot of substance. And when you say no, so see, one is to get Lakshmi, second is to retain Lakshmi. There are many people who become rich quickly, but whether they can retain that wealth or no, that is a big question. Isn't it? There are so many people that get money quickly and they lose money also quickly. So Lakshmi is giving us a tip over here how to retain her. Getting her, she told the first two things I spoke about, but retaining her requires character. So my suggestion to all of you all is that please remember the Narayan factor to retain money. So if you want to retain money, remember that you need to follow some principles in your life. And those principles will really help you retain wealth. Okay? And the last thing that I would like to leave you all with is spiritual quotient. So what exactly is spiritual quotient? Spiritual quotient is going a little deeper into your life and asking the why questions. So we know how and what very well, but we should simply know why. Simply ask yourself a few very important questions in your personal day-to-day life. All of you want to become successful in your careers, want to become successful in your jobs and in your occupation in life, isn't it? That's called public victory. What is public victory? Public victory means what world thinks about you, right? We're all conscious of what the world thinks about you. That's why I want to use the best phone, I want to use the best cars, I want to use the best gadgets. I want to use the best brands. So the more you use all these brands, the more the world thinks that you're successful, isn't it? To use a particular type of brand, to buy a particular type of brand, you need to have a certain amount of buying power. So a lot of people in this world keep buying, keep getting things from the point of view of impressing others, which is what is called public victory. Public victory is very important. But the problem in public victory is that the game keeps changing. So what is success? What is the definition of success from a public victory point of view? The definition of success is I buy what I want whenever I want. But when you define success based on these external factors, like say for example, somebody thinks being successful is getting a E-class Mercedes Benz. And you work like mad, acquire 90 lakh rupees and go and buy a E-class Mercedes Benz. The day you buy that car, a new car gets launched. Now your definition of success has changed. How many people have iPhone 14 today? Next year they're going to be in trouble, isn't it? The moment the new one comes, then you become irrelevant. You're not successful anymore. Then you have to work hard to get the next one, and then the day you get that, new one comes to the market. So this definition of success, which is based on the external point of view, it is an ever-changing definition, and never, at no point in time, you can say that I'm successful, because the day you say that, the symbol of success changes. So, while you should focus on that public victory, you should also start focusing on what is known as private victory. Private victory means, so public victory is what the world thinks about me. Private victory is what I think about myself. A lot of people, the world thinks they are wonderful, but they think about themselves, they can't even look at themselves in the mirror because they are ashamed of themselves. Because they know exactly what they have done to get what they have got, isn't it? So all of us should spend some time trying to achieve private victory. What is private victory? It's a very simple thing. How successful you are depends on how many things you have that money can't buy. What are the things money can't buy? Happiness. What else? Love. What else? Satisfaction. Peace of mind. Peace. What else? Good health. What else? Mental health. Good sleep. Family. Relationships. Isn't it? These are things that money can't buy. So, while you achieve all those things that money can buy, also try to achieve something that money can't buy. The combination of the two is what is real success. And that's what spirituality is about. Spirituality simply means not only investing in externals, but also investing in internals. Spirituality means being successful externally and being successful internally. So spirituality is not some vague mumbo jumbo thing. It's not religion. It's a way of life. It's a lifestyle. It's a thought process. It's a way of looking at the world. So what we are doing here in Unbound is help you break free from all the patterns that the world has installed in your mind. The world has bound you with some way of thinking. Here in Unbound, we are trying to make all of you unbounders. Go beyond the binding that the world is pushing you into and become unbound. Think differently. Think interestingly. Think long term. Don't get stuck with the way the world is trying to program you. Don't get stuck with the way the world is trying to push you towards. Have the guts to stand up and assert yourself. Today, the most successful people are those who think different, who do different, and who are happy to be different. Don't follow the herd. Make your own path. Welcome to the Unbounders, and I'm very, very happy to be with all of y'all. If anybody has any questions, comments, discussions, we're most happy now. Please feel free. Anybody has anything to ask? Yes. You can just tell your name and you can ask a question.
Good evening. My name is Jeet Jain. Basically, I am studying in 12th. I've just completed it. My boards have just finished. So when I entered 11th, before entering 11th, I used to be a kid who always wants to think different, who always wants to be creative, who always wants to think differently from others and try to create something. And I had that motivation when I was a kid, that I want to be different. I don't want to just follow her like my family members does. What my family expects is to have a good job, settle yourself in. But always I think is that I want to create my own legacy. But as I entered 11th, my studies grew bigger. My studies was
more difficult.
Yeah, it grew more difficult. So suddenly all that creativity, all that thoughtfulness, all that kid had in before 10th, that I have to create my own legacy, have just changed. Like I just basically when I try to meditate in the morning, but suddenly if I just close my eyes and all I think is I have that work left. I have my exams coming right now. What shall I do?
First thing is, my suggestion to you is, two things I would leave with you as a suggestions. First thing is, for that creative side of you to be expressed, even in your busy schedules, find little amount of time on a daily basis, even if it is 5 to 10 minutes. So if there's a particular creative way that you would like to express yourself, whether it is music, dance, some kind of art or writing, whatever creative way you like to express yourself, find 10 minutes for it on a daily basis. Which means for those 10 minutes, you might have to make some sacrifice. You can sacrifice your WhatsApp time. You can sacrifice your PlayStation time. Some time you sacrifice and you will find 10 minutes. It's not a big deal. The second thing is that you first need to acquire a basic degree or a basic type of thing. So what happens is, in today's world, which is a very complicated world we are in, not always people get to have their most creative talents as a profession. But every person should have multiple streams of income today. So while you acquire a degree and you get a particular job or a particular business that you're setting up, which is a mainstream of income, you can also follow a creative passion which can eventually become a second stream of income. Okay. So if you don't have, the first stream of income only and you're only focusing on the second stream of income, you will be highly frustrated and people all around you will be highly frustrated. Because it may not happen. It may happen, it may not happen. Right? So when you have the first stream of income steadily coming in with your degree, with your education, and then you can come to a point where you can afford to have a second stream of income coming in through your skills and creativity. And at a certain point, when you're very confident of the second stream, then you can push away the first stream, and the second stream can become your main, source of income, basically. So till then, you should play it intelligently. So nurture your talent, 10 minutes every day, and whenever you get time, do it more. So whatever you do over a period of almost 10,000 hours of practice, you become perfect at it. So that is a number we are looking at. So that means any skill that you want to cultivate, you need to invest 10,000 hours of time in that skill to become perfect in it. So now, usually for 10,000 hours, it takes up to 10 years of investment. So now, for those 10 years of investment for it to happen, you need to plan well in advance. So today, if you start planning, 10 years down the line, you will be very good at something. If you start planning 10 years down the line, then after that, it will take 10 more years to be perfect at something, right? So this would be my suggestion. Go one step at a time, but don't give up your creative ideas, creative desires, but do it in a very balanced fashion. Okay? Thank you. We'll take some other question and then we'll come back to you. There are more people.
Hi Prabhuji, I have a question,
Yes.
2 questions. So, do you think that one should experience pain, suffering, loneliness to live a happy, peaceful life? And second question is, according to you, how do you see a happy, peaceful life? Thank you.
I don't see why one should experience pain to be happy. See, pain and pleasure are part of life. Whether you want it or not, it will come. Whether you try to experience it or not, it will come. It's not that you have to go and say that please give me pain. The world will anyway give you pain, right? There are enough people around you that will give you pain. So pain is a part of the world's programming, basically. So don't plan for it. When it comes, learn to deal with it. And pain and pleasure are a cyclic part of life. Just like now Gudi Padwa is coming this week, right? So when Gudi Padwa is celebrated, they usually give a very interesting sweet, which is a mixture of methi, which is a mixture of neem and gur. Why? That is how life is. You can either choose to experience the taste of gur or the bitterness of neem. So some people concentrate on the neem part, which is so bitter, and some people concentrate on the jaggery part, which is so sweet, And some people understand both are going to be a part of life, isn't it? So I wouldn't say that you need pain to experience peace. I wouldn't say that you need joy only to experience peace. You need both. The idea is to experience peace in spite of pain and pleasure being around us, and being unaffected by the pain and pleasure around us. That is what the idea of Sthita Pragya is. Okay? Thank you. Thank you for the question. Anything else? We can pass it here to some of the girls. You can ask, then we pass it down. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have a question that how to tackle overthinking and how to tackle prediction of future result, thinking of the future. So how to tackle?
Okay. So the nature of the mind, especially in today's time, is to overthink. That's a part of life. I can tell you that I am an extreme overthinker. If you think you are an overthinker, I am 10 times more than you. But I only found ways to direct that overthinking. So if you read my books, you will find it is all overthinking only, but channelized in the right direction. So we need to find ways of channelizing that overthinking. Usually, the natural way the mind does is it channelizes overthinking in the wrong direction, in negativity. I have over a period of time really worked on my overthinking, really worked on myself to push away the tendency to think negative and focus on constructive, positive and important things in life. It's not easy, but it's not impossible. So my suggestion to you is that use overthinking as your strength. Don't allow it to become a weakness. So anytime you get a thought that is regressive in nature, that is taking you downwards, push it aside and start thinking of the other side of it, right? So whenever you, like say for example, you're very sick, the mind starts thinking that if I'm so sick, what will happen? It goes in the wrong direction. But you stop your thinking there and think from another point of view. Like I'll give you an example. I was once admitted in a hospital many years back. I got malaria, very bad phase of malaria. And 4-5 days I had no option. You can pass the mic this side. Yeah, I know that. I want the girls to ask first. Then you. So I was admitted. 4-5 days I was in the hospital. I decided the day I entered the hospital, I decided that see anyway 4-5 days I have to be here. And 4-5 days I can't do anything else. So I said these 4-5 days, let me see what I can do to make this experience memorable for myself. So every day for those 4-5 days, I spent a lot of time reading books. Which means I planned first only to carry books with me. I know I'm going to be in the hospital. I know I'm going to be wasting time on a bed for so many days. I took with me a couple of books with me. And people were thinking, what is this? You're planning to go to hospital? You're planning to go to the library, But I knew that I'm going to be wasting time there. And I used the time constructively. And I still remember those days when I think about them. And I said, wow, what amazing days I had, I got to read all day long. So now I could have been miserable on that bed. I could have been frustrated how I'm wasting so many days and this and that. I would have been miserable. But I made it useful, basically. So that's the way we need to deal with it. So overthinking can be a boon or a bane, depending on how you use it. Okay? Yeah. Yes. So, see, there are some norms that the world gives you. Those norms you have to follow. There's no doubt about it. Those norms you have to follow. You can't avoid those norms. But at the same time, within those norms, you can make a small path of your own also. So it's not that we stop following the norms of the world. But within those norms, you carve your own path. That's what it means, basically. So there are certain things that you just follow the trends of the world. Like say, for example, when it comes to fashion, follow the trends of the world. But when it comes to principles, you stand like a rock. There you don't follow the trends of the world. You can set your own path, So a lot of people think that being part of the world means I'll do whatever everybody says. Everybody is going to hell, that doesn't mean I also follow. Isn't it? I can follow my own path also to reach a different destination. So when it comes to certain things, especially when it comes to things like fashion, when it comes to things like certain trends, you can follow the trends of the world. But when it comes to principles, you need to think which you want to follow and which you don't want to follow. And that's from the long-term point of view. Of course, that's what I'm saying. Those norms which are dangerous to follow are principle-based. That's why I said principle, you stand steady like a rock. Okay? Yeah.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe Prabhuji. So my question is you just elaborate about the how to keep Lakshmi with us and way of how to earn the money. In that you have told about us 3 points like work hard and work according to the skill set and follow the Narayan's principle. So I just want you to elaborate more about what is the exact principle of Narayana so we can follow it.
Okay.
If it is kind. Thank you.
So Narayan stands for righteousness. Narayan stands for dharma. Narayan stands for doing the right things. So say for example, if somebody can with one sign, the person can earn 15 lakh rupees. Okay? But that one sign will lead to a lot of environmental crisis. Suppose he is in a IAS officer position or some post, okay? This fellow is saying, if you put this one sign over here, that one company is ready to give you 15 lakh rupees. Now, what is the right thing to do? For him personally, 15 lakh rupees is important. His child's education can happen through that. But from a responsibility point of view, it's wrong. From a righteousness point of view, it's wrong. From a dharmic point of view, it's wrong. So that is what Narayan stands for. Narayan represents your consciousness, or you could call it conscience, which is very a very deep-seated understanding of the dharmic principles. So there will be many choices in your life where you will have to make choices based on what is right and what is wrong. So that's where we stand by the Narayan principle. That's what it means. Okay? Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
As you said, we take coffee so we don't sleep. It's totally happens opposite with me.
Okay.
If I'm going to have coffee, I'm not going to sleep. I'm going to sleep earlier. And I try my best to take coffee and study. So it totally goes opposite. And the second thing is I'm not getting focus on my studies.
So maybe coffee is having a different effect on you. It's making you lose focus on studies. See, what I told you is science. Okay? Now your body works differently. Maybe you are from a different planet, I don't know. But normally, coffee leads to, active mind, basically. Okay? So, I'm not saying that you should stop coffee. What I'm trying to tell is that after 5 p.m. don't take coffee. At least that much you stop, basically. You take, if you want in the morning, first half you take. Till 2 or 3 you can take. But after that, it's going to be detrimental for quality of your sleep. That's all. There are so many ways to stay awake. You don't necessarily only have to have a caffeine shot to stay awake, okay? And as it is, today's mind doesn't allow you to sleep only, basically. Most people's mind are so overactive and so hyperactive, you don't get sleep only. So you need to find what works for your body. You need to find what works for your body and mind. If you are not able to focus, means there is some habit in you which is not allowing you to focus. Yeah.
That's overthinking.
It may be overthinking, but that overthinking is also because of is due to something. You figure out what habit of yours is leading to overthinking. So sometimes the way we are, most of us, the way we are programmed, the way our thinking process works, our lifestyle works, everything works is based on 5 things. The type of music that we hear, the type of food we eat, the type of movies we watch, the type of books we read, the type of people that we hang around with. These 5 determine who you are. You be careful who these 5 are or what these 5 are. You be very choosy about these 5. Then you will find your lifestyle also is better. So if you're not careful about the kind of friends you are, if you have friends that are all night long awake, naturally you will also be awake. If you eat food that is not going to allow you to sleep, not going to allow, it's going to be very high energy foods, you're not going to get sleep easily because your body and metabolism is going to be very highly active. You watch movies that are very disturbing to the mind, how are you going to be able to focus? Your mind will be constantly thinking about all those things, all those visuals and all those scenes and all that. If you watch certain things on Instagram or Facebook, it keeps your mind very active, isn't it? So you figure out why your mind is active. If you just say, I'm overthinking, that doesn't solve the problem. You find out why you're overthinking, isn't it? As I said, these 5 things, all of y'all must monitor. Don't just consume just like that. Don't just consume food just like that. Don't just consume information just like that. Don't just consume music just like that. Think before you consume. That's what will make you, stand apart. Okay?
One more question.
I will take one question at a time. Some of the boys, yes.
Sorry, and
He has been waiting. Thank you. You can pass the mic here. Yeah, good. Pass it.
हेलो
हाँ
सो प्रभु जी लोग कहते हैं कि जो होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है, अगर हमें कोई चीज़ नहीं मिल रही तो भगवान ने उसमें हमारे लिए अच्छा रखा है. सो गुरु जी, माय नेम इज़ नवीन और मैंने बीटेक कर रखी है, बट आई एम इंटरेस्टेड इन स्टॉक मार्केट एंड आई वांट टू बिकम अ फुल टाइम स्टॉक मार्केट ट्रेडर एंड आई हैव बीन 3 years बट आई एम नॉट एबल टू गेट माय डिजायर्ड रिजल्ट्स एंड आई हैव स्टार्टेड माय यूट्यूब चैनल ऑल्सो. सो व्हाट शुड आई डू कि इसके लाइफ में मेरे लिए इससे अच्छा रखा है कि मुझे क्विट कर देना चाहिए ट्रेडिंग,
ओके.
or do I need to change my friends? Because they told that show me your friends, I will show your future. These are my friends. So what should I do?
स्टॉक मार्केट और फ्रेंड्स का क्या कनेक्शन है?
Somebody told me that if you want to become means show your friends, I will show your future. Change
Achha,
your
achha.
circle. So
Okay. Okay. So let me explain my thoughts, okay? First thing is, in India, first people become engineer and then they decide what they want to become. That is the trend, है ना? मतलब पहला कथम शुरुआत होते ही इंजीनियरिंग बन जाते हैं, उसके बाद सोचते हैं मैं क्या करूँ अभी. That's good. You're following the trend of India. I became an engineer, then I became a lawyer. So it happens. It happens that your first degree kind of becomes by mistake, you know. No worries. Engineering gives you logical abilities. You can use it all your life. That's the worth of engineering for most people. But as far as your career choice is concerned, you have to be a little pragmatic about it. You have to be a little practical about it. See, there are many careers that are now seem to be very trending, you know, seem to be very, what do you call it, fun, cool, things like that. For a career choice, you have to think not only from the point of view of coolness, but also from the point of view of stability. A career can't just be cool. It also has to bring a lot of stability in your life. Because for you to live your life happily, you need to take up some responsibilities in your life. And any responsibility will need a steady stream of income coming in. If there's a lot of unpredictability in your income, it simply means that there's going to be a lot of anxiety in your life. And with that kind of anxiety, you can't live a peaceful life, you can't live a happy life. That is why I was telling that person, you know, Naveen, right? Your name is? Jeet. You're Naveen. I was telling Jeet that you need to first find one very stable source of income. Yeah. That's fine. So whatever it is, you find one steady source of income and then you can experiment with another source. Okay? Don't experiment with your main source of income. Your main source of income should be steady. And then you can explore your creative sources with time. And then you have to be honest about it. See, what happens? Any kind of career takes time to set. I was telling him about 10,000 hours of effort, right? It takes time to set. You can't decide today, like I start a career yesterday, I start a business yesterday, I said today is not working. It doesn't work like that. It takes 5 to 10 years to decide whether something is meant for you or not, right? For you to become any kind of expert, it takes 5 to 10 years. If you don't have patience, then it will be very difficult for you to grow. So be patient first. If you love something, do it steadily for a period of time. And get someone who can give you very clear feedback whether you are meant to be in this or not. Right? I'll give you my own example. Many years back, so when I finished my engineering, I'll tell you why I made the shift to patent law, you know. I finished my engineering and I did electronics and telecommunication engineering. I got a job as a electronic engineer, and I was in charge for one organization for the entire state of Goa. So I was doing maintenance and equipment, everything I was doing for that country, for that state. So I was pretty busy. One particular day, something happened that kind of shook my whole understanding of what I'm supposed to be doing. There was one particular place in one company where I had to go and do one maintenance work for one equipment that was installed there. I went there. I knew what the problem was. I knew what the solution was. I had all the tools to solve the problem. But when I was trying to solve the problem, it needed a small soldering That's all. Very tiny problem, very simple thing. And in literally 5 minutes, I could have solved the problem. But my problem was my physical quotient, especially my steadiness of hand is not great. Even today, when if I tie a shoelace, I struggle a lot to tie the shoelace. It's a problem that many people have, So the shoulder in my hand and this is shaking a little bit. So every time I tried that, it was not working only. So then I started thinking, am I so stupid that I can't do something so small? And I really became quite bewildered and confused. And that night I sat a lot and thought. And then I realized my strength is research. But my weakness is in the physical aspect of the career. So I said, so in that company, I learned everything I needed to learn in 1 or 2 months. But from the physical point of view, I had some issues, some limitations. So I decided I need to find a path where I can use my research ability in the best possible way. And that's when I found patent law. Patent law is complete research based. And it is complete study, super intellectual base, basically. And I loved it. And I thrived in that like anything. I was one of probably India's top 100 patent lawyers at that point in time. So the point I'm trying to tell you is simple. You observe yourself, observe your strengths, observe your weaknesses, and be honest about them. And you ask someone to help you get you good feedback about what your capacity is. Sometimes we tend to overestimate ourselves or underestimate ourselves. But someone who's neutral, who is intelligent, who is also unbiased, who is knowledgeable, can give you a better idea and can give you a honest idea about it. That's why you should do both. As I said, first, select properly according to your strengths and weakness. Second, take guidance. Third, once you do both of these, then give yourself time. And fourth, look at two streams of income. One is a steady stream that doesn't shake. And then there's an experimental stream that you learn over time, basically. Okay? Thank you. Yes, I think we can take one last question. Yes, bro.
How can we be motivated for a longer period of time? Haribol. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I am Rishikesh. Prabhuji, how to be motivated for a longer period of time, like for studying and everything?
See, there are some things that you have to do, and there are some things that you love to do. Those things that you have to do will be painful, but you have to do them. And there are some things that you love to do. And what you love to do, there is no pain in it. There is fun and pleasure. And you don't feel pressurized to do it. Okay? If you can find a job or if you can find a career that is a combination of the two, that means what you have to do is also what you love to do, then you are sorted. Then you don't need motivation anymore. Every day is motivation, basically. Yeah. So to find that combination is what takes time. But the day you get that combination, that's it. You don't need motivation from outside. I know what I want to do in my life. I don't need anybody to motivate me. I'll keep doing for the rest of my life now. So till you find that, it took me. I probably found what I wanted to do when I was 30 years of age. You may find it much earlier, But the day you find it, that's it. You don't need anybody outside to motivate you. You'll keep running on your own. That's why for getting that, you'll need help. You'll need to think.
But now I have to get into an engineering college. So for that I need motivation.
Welcome. See, this is something you have to do. Do it. After that, you'll find motivation. See, that's what I'm saying now. What is something you have to do now, you do it. Because you have to do it. You have no option. There you suffer, you be happy, whatever, you'll go through all the phases of it, but you do it. But at the same time, start exploring life. See, engineering is not life. Engineering is one part of life, right? Engineering will give you some skill sets that will help you explore life. So don't think that your one degree is going to give you everything in life, right? It's just a start point. Most people who finish engineering, after engineering, you have to really become qualified to get into jobs, right? Because engineering just gives you a very basic understanding of engineering. That's why all those who are studying engineering also, please, I recommend all of you to explore other courses that are available. There are hundreds of courses available online. The only thing that prevents you from doing those courses is laziness. Sheer laziness and lethargy. So please go ahead, abandon your laziness and explore. There is so many things you can learn, and with that learning you can contribute so much. Okay? So all of y'all, I'm really grateful to y'all for coming here and for being a part of this. Hopefully we'll keep meeting more often, as much as possible. And I'm really wishing all of y'all a happy journey in your careers, your school, colleges, and in your explorations of life. I'm always there for y'all. Please feel free to reach me on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, Twitter, anywhere. And I'll be happy to help you all with your answers, with your questions and answers, okay? Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the incredible talk and for answering so many amazing questions out here. And thank you so much, all of you, for being such an amazing audience. We are very grateful and thankful for all of you for coming here this evening and being a part of this event. I'll just take a few moments to describe our community called the Unbound. It's a community for the youth, by the youth, and of the youth. And we have been organizing events for the youth for a long period of time now. And we try to have events every single month ranging from different topics by different speakers like Prabhuji himself. And we also have an Instagram page called Unbound Mumbai, where all the recent events and updates will be posted. So if you can please follow that page and be in touch with us and be updated about the recent events. Thank you. Secondly, Prabhuji out here is having a literature fest, which is called the Lit Fest, on the 6th of April, right out here in this very room, where discussions on various books will be taking place. So if all of you can attend that as well, it will be great. And the details of the same will be posted shortly. Thirdly, I would request Rajiv Prabhuji out here to please give a gift to Shubh Vilas Prabhuji as a token of thank you and appreciation. Huge round of applause for him, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Very grateful.
And recently, Prabhuji has published his new book called Plug into Happiness. So one of our core committee members of Unbound has been very kind and very nice to all the people out here who have asked questions to Prabhuji. So all the people who have asked questions to Prabhuji, we would request all of you to please assemble out here. So there's a big surprise for all of you. Thank you so much, everyone, and hope to stay connected. Thank you. Yes, after some time, prasadam will also be served. Thank you so much, everyone.